Hi there, Rick here. So, my truck broke down last Thursday at the gym um, at the Richmond Oval. I got it back today from my mechanic, um, Terry, okay, in Burnaby. Um, so, just to get it towed, I noticed most uh, tow truck drivers were charging a lot more than usual. Just because, well, you have to remember fuel has gone up, cost of living, right? Um, so the tow costed me about, well, $202. That's with the tax, okay? Um, there was a lot of other places that were charging $250 to get my vehicle towed. So, that's kind of expensive, okay? That's roughly going 25 kilometers, okay? Because they wanted to know the estimate. So I had to get my truck from Burnaby to, Richmond to Burnaby, okay? So I brought my truck to Terry. He couldn't figure out what was wrong with it right away. It took him, he had to get another testing tool to figure out why it wouldn't start. Um, the what was wrong with it was the crank sensor. Okay, even when he plugged in the his small little computer, okay, to my car's computer, right? It didn't even tell him that part was faulty. Okay, you have to remember too. Even though you're plugging into your the computer system of the vehicle, still doesn't tell you all the time what's the faulty part on the vehicle, okay? Um, the crank sensor, I asked him, is that quite an important part in the vehicle? He goes, yeah. I have to remember, after 300,000 kilometers, the crank sensor has finally went out on this truck, right? So that's, quite a long time, okay? Quite a few kilometers. The crank sensor, basically it looks like it's just a small little adapter. Looks like the size for like a dash cam, okay? And that sensor with the tax, it costed about $109, okay? I didn't even know that, well, my vehicle had a crank sensor in it, right? And I think he said he had to take out the alternator to get at it, and some other part too. So I think it was kind of hard to get at, yeah. So I'm quite glad that, he was able to fix the problem, because I thought it was maybe the battery or the spark plugs, because I noticed about a week and a half ago I had trouble sometimes starting it, and I thought after I changed out the battery and spark plugs that would have solved the problem, but that wasn't the real problem. The real problem was the crank sensor. You just don't hear of the crank sensor that often, I guess because it doesn't go that often on a vehicle, right? But my truck, 2003 Toyota Tacoma, the crank sensor did go on my vehicle, right? So Terry's quite a good mechanic. Um, I think if I brought it to maybe some other small mechanic shop, they would have been trying to figure out for maybe, I don't know, more than a week or maybe even 2 weeks, right? And maybe changing out the wrong part. So right now the truck runs really smooth right now. I'm sure glad he found the problem of it and, yeah, fixed it for me. On my computer at home too, I'll probably in my OneNote, I'll just make a log, um, the things that I repaired on my car and how much it costed, right? And just keep a log of the maintenance things that you do on your vehicle, and how much um, the parts that you changed out, how much you paid for it, right? I think that's a good idea to do.